Hi, can you all hear me? You can reply me by using chat. Just any one of you let me know, please. Oh yes, I got it. Thank you, Tareem and Momina. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So let's start the discussion. First of all, welcome. Welcome to this webinar. It's about uh, the Salesman Reborn, and this is the second episode of the series. The first one was about the death of a salesman, in which we discussed how the old salesman has died, and died means the older ways of making sales are no more valid uh, in the new era, as the world has changed in the past few years. Whatever was being done 10 years, 20 years back, 30 years back, and which is still being taught by many sales gurus is not applicable at all. You need to change. And this particular webinar today is about now what to do, how to really become a new salesman who can perform well and succeed. The presentation, the webinar, the maximum length of the webinar is 60 minutes. I'll try to wrap up my presentation in 20-25 minutes, and then I'll open the floor for discussions, for questions and answers. You can use the link I've given of slido.com with the event code that you can use in order to ask any questions anonymously. Uh, you are, I've, I've always, the pattern is, the rule is that we don't open the videos and we don't ask questions on the mic, but only through the app, and that is only when my talk is finished. So my talk, when it is finished, I'll then open up for questions in study.com. I hope it's all clear. So let's start with the presentation. I'll just share my screen now, and just a minute, let me share my screen. And from this screen, I'll go to and open up Google Slides. Can you all see the slides, please? Slide, please. Let me know through chat. Okay. Okay. So I got a reply that you can see the slides now. Slide now. Okay, let's start. So there are two portions of the slide. One is about what is the salesman of a new era, where we will discuss actually what skills are required, which were perhaps not very important, but they are the ultimate important skills in order to succeed in sales. Then we will discuss the change in attitude that is required, the kind of new attitude that you require to succeed in sale, and then some of the older skills which are still applicable, right? Of course, you're a salesman, so the skills remain the same. After discussing this, we will then go through the whole process of sales, and we will discuss how and when these new uh, skills and attitudes and tools are used in order for the whole sales process. I hope I'm making myself clear. So let's first discuss about the new skills in order to succeed in sales. Since the world has gone online, sales is of course no different, and some of these skills which are used throughout the sales process are so much important that you cannot do sales without them. Primarily, I'm talking about B2B sales. which has high value ticket where you have to go one-on-one with the clients. I'm not talking about the sales which you do on the road or on the shops, um, which perhaps is not the audience that we have in this webinar. Okay, so in the ultimate new skills to succeed, the first one, the foremost one is the searching and finding information online. I know you all believe, and everyone believes that, of course, I know how to search and find information online. I know how to Google. I know perhaps how to actually use uh, ChatGPT, but in it depends upon you should really know exactly how to use all this information. And not only this, but also information can be found using many other applications such as LinkedIn, which is very, very important to find information. Such as there are other tools with not exactly related as popular as in LinkedIn, but some of the paid tools which are very, very important in order to find and search information that you require. So everybody is used Google, I'm sure. Some of you have used, or maybe everybody has used ChatGPT, but and LinkedIn as well. But finding out really how, what is the right questions to ask, how to exactly find out the information you want, and not only that, first of all, make sure that you know what information you are searching for specifically. You cannot just go on searching for any information that you find. When you go to Google, it gives you millions of pages, it seems to me, and you're able to search 3 or 4 pages. But whenever you ask the right questions, then only the answers are found. It is more important to know as a salesman what exact information do you want, and then only the skills for searching and finding information helps. Number two, using online tools and applications. As I've said, it's not only just about like using Google, but also there are many other tools. For example, to find out, uh, let's say, to send email to uh, thousands of people at the same time. Of course, for prospecting and for marketing, it is an application for that. There are tools for that, and also to find the right, uh, maybe the right information. For example, the email addresses. So all these tools, and then there are CRM tools. Should know how to use them. Database management. Database is seems like a big strong word, but actually it is not. Me, my personal experience is that Excel, normal Microsoft Excel, is good enough to manage database. You should exactly know how to manage database. Written in oral communication, because most of the time now you are not uh, talking to people but writing. So written professional communication in English, understanding what is right and what's wrong, what is good and what's not. And same is the case with oral communication. You should know exactly what words to use, how to be concise, how to be uh, how, how, how to be concise, how to be focused, how to be crisp, how to exactly use the right words in order to communicate what you want to communicate. So these are the skills which are much, much more important now for you to make sales, else you will not be able to. The second thing is renewed attitude. Attitude, I don't know you will call these attitudes or not, but maybe your own there are skills. When I say skills, I talk about the hands-on skills. Okay, let's call them attitude, but whatever you call them. Better analysis. You should be able to analyze the situation, uh, the data, the environment, the responses of the customer very well now, because most of the times customer is not in front of you, but you have to make better analysis in today's world. Better focus. uh, you have to learn that each and every customer is different. You cannot apply the same strategy on every customer. So there has to be extreme focus on each and every client, and integrity above all. The salesmen, oh, they are so ill reputed for their integrity all over the world. They are said to be, I'm sorry, they are said to be liars. They are said to be the one who make promises and they don't really care and such stuff. But believe me, in today's world, the only way to succeed in the long run is to have your integrity above all. Older skills are still applicable, of course. Older skills, for example, the questioning, finding out the right information so that you can represent the right solution to the customer. Negotiation skills and closing are still applicable as they do, which makes you much different than the other people who are not into sales. Here, I would also like to add that all these skills I can personally one-to-one train. Also, I can do workshops to teach each and everything in detail. The webinar is not meant to teach and go into detail of each, but that can be, let's say, a one-day webinar in which we one-day workshop in which we can talk about how to search and find information online using actual data and actual tools, how to do database management and written and oral communication, and also the questioning, negotiations, and closing the skills which you need to brush up. We can do a workshop on that. Let me know if you're interested uh, through the through maybe a feedback question and answer session, or maybe writing an email to me directly, kanansaid@gmail.com. Okay, so now we turn to the process. Uh, prospecting. Prospecting has changed overall. Prospecting has changed overall. Now, me, myself, and my team, now when they do prospecting for customers, which means finding out exactly who we need to target. For example, I do events, exhibitions, conference, seminar, not just in Pakistan, but in several other countries. So for each and every country, I have to find out exactly who I want to invite. So my prospecting is totally based on um finding the right information online about each and everything that I need to know, from which industries to target for my product, which companies to target for my product, and then the right personnel in those companies, their email addresses, and also uh, personal information about them. We use different tools. For example, in this prospecting, we use Google, ChatGPT, Excel. We use some emailing tools. For example, we use Neverbounce. We use tools for finding email addresses. We use LinkedIn. All these are required in order to exactly find out what are the companies you want to prospect, right? Then pre-approach. Pre-approach means that you find more detail about each and every of these persons, these companies, and make your notes in order to assess who in these companies actually you want to target. Then the approach. Approach is very different now. In the older days, I have done that job. I used to go door to door, finding out the right prospects and talking to them if they want my product or not. But now the approach is different. How do we approach now? If we have their email addresses, then we write a series of emails. Maybe you should have at least 6 or 7 different kind of emails that you can send to the same person in order to convert him from zero knowledge about you to actually having an interest or letting you know he's not interested in your product. 6 or 7 emails, and each and every email has to be different. It does not make sense to send the same email again and again, or sending emails to people which actually they have already with the same information which they already know. So there has to be something different. There has to be something new. This is the way you approach it, which is entirely different than what it used to be earlier. Discovery is the process in which you ask questions once the customer has shown interest. He says, okay, I'm interested. Then in order to present the right solution, you actually ask a number of questions, and the questions vary on your objective. For example, you are trying to pinpoint exactly, first of all, if this customer really need your product. Does he have the money to buy your product? Secondly, is he motivated enough to spend that money on your product? Is there an urgency? Then, okay, if I've got like this range of products, which one is the right for him? What is the right price that he would be looking for? Etc. etc. You can only do these things by discovery questions. Unless until you have this, again, I would say I can do workshops on all these areas as well. How to approach, how to pre-approach, how to prospect, how to do discovery, and how to make a solution presentation. Solution presentation, discovery is usually sometime on Zoom meeting followed by a one-to-one meeting. Solution presentation is usually in the form of a proposal, and it can be like a presentation to a big board, or it can be just sending across the information in a PowerPoint presentation. If this is what we've understood. And then the negotiations. Negotiations, of course, you have to make sure that the price you quote and the final price that you want to close in, there has to be a range in that in which you negotiate, depending upon what you have understood about the customer during discovery, approach, and pre-approach. And the last uh, step, of course, closing. Closing is always easy if you already have built upon your closing techniques on the basis of the previous steps that you've gone through and taken the customer into. So I believe this gives you enough information for now of how I believe that the new salesman should approach in order to succeed in this market. Personally speaking, I not only work for myself, but also I train people who work for me, and I've seen really amazing success using all these skills, techniques, attitudes, and making sure that we understand each and every part of the process. And I believe in it. That's why I'm doing this webinar. I will perhaps you can learn the same. So this is my presentation for now. Uh, I'll just now open the floor for questions and answers. It's exactly 20 minutes, 19 actually. So we are good with the questions now. And okay, the Slido is open in front of me, and you can write the code or click the link and ask me questions. I'll answer. The floor is open now. Shoot. Anyone, anything. How should you prospect and engage foreign clients? This question has been asked by me. Is the same process. It doesn't matter if the clients are foreign or local. I've been working in the international market for the last 20 years, and I've met one-to-one with foreign clients. I've contacted them online. I myself live in Dubai and I travel a lot between Dubai, London, and other parts of the world. So it's the same process. There is no difference in the process. Once you understand the basics, the the skills that you need to learn and your attitude and the process what to follow is the same. It doesn't matter if you're prospecting for foreign clients. For example, let's say I have my product, which is basically one product is meant for clients in Ireland and Scotland and England. And following the same process, I have my industries, I have the companies I want to target, I have the name of the people whom I want to contact in those organizations, I have my series of emails ready, I have their email addresses, so I just need to shoot. Whoever buys anywhere in the world is the one who understands your product and needs your product. I hope I have answered your question. Please let me know uh, through, through through a message in the Slido that you have understood my answer or not. Is my answer clear? I cannot see a response. Is my answer clear? Oh, okay. How do you find their contacts? Well, it is easy to to find contacts. For example, email addresses. And you don't only prospect from their websites. Never. There are so many other ways to prospect, and there are so many tools are available that you can use in to find out the right persons, the email addresses. So for for whatever serves you, whatever serves your price point, you can always, of course, you will have to search. You will have to, as I said, in the most important skill, you will have to know how to search the right information. But there are exactly the emails of those guys available. There are tools that give you the emails of your prospects with 90-95% of confidence that they are the right emails. I hope I answered your question. Okay, next question is how can one stay motivated throughout the sales cycle, especially in a B2B setting? You can be disheartening when clients don't respond despite follow-ups. Actually, it depends upon again the process you're following. Uh, I don't think so that the clients don't respond. Uh, there's always a ratio that works. Uh, for example, uh, what I understand the clients would respond or not would depend a lot about how you are marketing and prospecting and selling. For example, let's say the question is, are you talking to the right people? At one time, I cannot talk to more than 200 people. I cannot prospect for more than 200 people. Then these have to be the right 200 people or 100 people. And then, is your product really interesting to them? Or does it distinguish from the other products in the market? Does it have a clear marketing edge? If your product or price or uh, the background of the product or the reviews about the product are not as strong, they're not interested. If you're not targeting to the right person who do not want your product, they're not interested. So you only hit and try, and then you find out exactly if my product is I'm right targeting to the right person. But once you have you know exactly this is the profile of my customer, this is their database, and this is the product that suits them. They will definitely go if their need is that this is their need. Then it usually happens that if the customer has money, then they do respond reasonably. You can't say that they don't respond at all, but you do start to get responses. How have you actually engaged with them? It depends upon your written skills, the emails that you're writing. Are they engaging enough? Are they really motivating them to answer? There's so many things that work together in order to answer this simple question. Why they're not responding? Each and every element has to be right. Nobody has time, but they do buy, definitely. And they do buy the right thing. The customers today don't waste time on something which is not right. So everything in the chain has to be right in order for him to respond. I hope I have answered your question. Is it? Can you please name a few most reliable tools for finding the emails? I use hunter.io. There are so many others. You can use ChatGPT to find out. It will give you a list of 10, 20 tools. Have I answered your question? How to find the emails? Great. Okay. Have I answered the question? Stay motivated one. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That's great. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you was against the most reliable tool. So I'm asking this question about the motivated one. Have I answered this? Are there any more questions? Are there any more questions? Shall I believe there are no more questions? If anybody is still thinking or writing about any questions, just write wait so that I know somebody wants to ask a question. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a question already. Okay. Are there any other ways beside cold, warm contacts to approach clients in B2B setting? I haven't had success with approaching people on LinkedIn. LinkedIn uh, is a popular tool, but it's not the right one. Most of the people you will find on LinkedIn are either HR people or sales people who are trying to sell their own product. The more important people who are seriously in big positions in the organizations, they don't usually answer a lot of questions when you approach them on LinkedIn. They may just connect if they are social and they just want to, but normally speaking, people don't want to be bugged up. The important people don't want to be bugged up by salespeople on LinkedIn. I'm the president of my company. I have my company in UK, in Dubai, in Pakistan, and most of the LinkedIn message that I get is, I want to sell you this, I want to sell this. I'm not interested in that. My approach to actually being on LinkedIn is to um, my reason for being on LinkedIn is to connect with the right people and to uh, basically have a social network. So, what is the process? The process is, as I said above, what I do is I find their email addresses. I don't ask them. I find their email addresses using some tools, and then I have a series of 6, 7, 8 emails. I should have that time period when I approach them for them to really keep on warming up with what kind of communication I'm doing. And then only they answer if they're interested. It depends upon writing skills, how you approach them, and your technical skills. This is the best method I've found in order to really prospect for the right customers. Seriously, it's not what you usually learn and hear. They just want to sell. LinkedIn has so many. Uh, there are so many people who talk about LinkedIn only because LinkedIn want you to pay money to them. It's not about how seriously good it is. They're just doing their marketing and they're doing it well. Most of the people think LinkedIn is very good for making sales. It's not. For finding information of the right people, yes, it is good. For sales, no, I don't think so. Have I answered your question, sir? Let me see. What is the ideal interval between two successive emails? You listen to your heart. That is the ideal interval. The heart gives you the ideal interval. You cannot say it cannot be sequenced in the number of days. Okay, after this I do this. There are no processes. Each and every communication is one to one. For example, when I write an email, of course, the second day to write an email is not a good time. But of course, 3 months or 2 months down the road is not a good time. But it depends. You start feeling, okay, I I contacted with him at this time. Perhaps this is the right time. It can be depending upon your product and like what you're doing, can be 5 days, it can be 10 days, it can be 15 days, 3 weeks maximum. So I would say somewhere between 6 days and 3 weeks. Usually it's a good time, I think. Have I answered your question? At least let me know if you have which one was that yes, thank you. Against which question was this yes, thank you? Because with all these questions and yes, thank yous, it is difficult for me to match which thank you matches to which question. If you can explain which one has been answered, because I can't see your names, I can just see anonymous. Oh, is there any question being asked on the chat as well? No. Okay, that's good. Last time I was getting questions in the chat as well. Let's see. Hmm. Any more questions? Is there a tool available for mail maintenance and tracking? Of course, there are so many CRMs. There's so many CRMs online that actually can keep a track of all your communication uh, that you are individual communication that you are doing with the customers. Again, I would say if you would really know how to search well online and how to ask the right questions online, then you will find out all these tools. Most of the tools, maybe they're not marketing them properly for you to find, except the very popular one, for example, Salesforce. They do that, but there's so many cheaper options available, even free. There are options that you can work around to work for free. For example, the emails that I send to the market, even though MailChimp is costly, most popular, but I have found other email tools which are, believe me, if I work around things, I'm using them for free for my professional needs. I hope I have answered your question. And please let me know which question, when you answer, let me know which question are we talking about. Are there any other questions? I cannot see the chat, so you will have to direct your questions to Slido. If there are no more questions, then perhaps we should wind up. I will wait for 2 more minutes, maybe 1 more minute, to see if there are any questions. No more questions? Shall we close the session? Okay. You're welcome, Tarim. Okay, we close now, I believe. Is there, okay, another thank you message. Thank you so much, Vashma. Thank you so much for joining in. I love my time with you guys too. So we close now, and I hope to see you in other of my webinars as well. I'm doing 2 more next week, inshallah. One will be on identifying idiots, which will be how to actually identify idiots, as the name says. And the other one would be selling your soul, which is actually about not to sell your soul in sales. Many people do sell their souls. It doesn't work out. See you soon, inshallah. Please spread the word. Please invite as many people as you can to attend my sessions. They are free, right? Take good care. I'm stopping now. Uh, See you, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.